Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having a great day or night in Jesus in this holiday season. Thanks for being here. We're looking at medieval thoughts on the Trinity. Medieval thoughts on the Trinity. Do check out our other videos. We're on the Stanford Dictionary of Philosophy under the History of Trinitarian Doctrine, plato.stanford.edu. Thanks for being here. And let's get started. Do hit the bell notification and subscribe. Check out our recent videos on the subject of the Trinity, who, according to some, or most, you can't even be saved if you don't believe it, but nobody can tell you really exactly what it is. Medieval theories, at least not biblically. Medieval theories on the Trinity. Church council decisions are treated by Catholicism and Orthodoxy much like Supreme Court decisions in American jurisprudence. Now, not all church councils, it's only what's known as the 7 great ecumenical councils, but even those, I suggest, if you ever want to, do a deep dive of the history behind them and not just the mountaintops of what is said came out of that, but what was really discussed and what really was decided, and all the political motivations and the anathematizings and the beeswax candles and just everything else that are parts of the discussions. While early rulings may be bent and twisted to meet new needs, they're, at least in theory, inviolable precedent. I can remember back in the 80s that people used to say you have to believe the 7 creeds or you can't be saved. And it's like, extra biblical revelation. Extra biblical things you have to believe to be. It's not sola scriptura anymore. It's not sola Christi. It's not sola gratia. Gotcha. All right, so thus the structure of Christian churches ensured that these boundaries weren't violated, and theorizing about the Trinity from around 400 AD until the Reformation, 1517, was forcibly kept within the bounds of creedal orthodoxy, now with many exceptions, obviously. And it could be argued, and I just did a history of Christianity, where it can be really argued that the majority of Christians around the world for many centuries did not have Nicene creedal orthodoxy. Could be argued that could be true today. Thus, most medieval Trinitarian theories are essentially elaborations on the pro-Nicene consensus in a more confident and metaphysical mode. That is, they adhere strictly to the creedal statements as well as writings of their tradition's most authoritative church fathers, but are less reticent to give fuller accounts of what the persons are, how they're related to one another, and to God or the divine essence. Now, I will say this, though, with Abelard and Bogomil, so many, that there's so much there. Because people were still having arguments, Albertus Magnus, Aquinas on the Trinity, how did it differ from certain other scholastics, and Boethius and Photinius, and so many, of course, the Priscillianists, on and on, Bogomilian. There were short-lived exceptions to this conformity. Periodically, allegedly tritheistic Trinitarian theologies were proposed and quickly suppressed. And for evidence of this, see Erisman in 2008, Pelikan, that's Jaroslav Pelikan, wonderful historian from Yale, 1978, Pohle, P-O-H-L-E, 1919, and Tavard, 1997. It also says, see their section on tritheism, and the entry on John Philoponus. And so what it's saying is a lot from Nicaea till 1517, a lot of the discussions on the doctrine of Trinity were seen as what's known as one-self Trinitarian theories. That God was universally seen as a He, and they may have even had a lot of modalistic understandings of God. You had the famous 3 faces of Jesus that seemed to be a couple centuries. That was kind of the concept of God, the Jesus with the 3 faces, It looks kind of weird to us today. But every so often, even back in the 3rd century, you have the Dionysius of Alexandria and others that would try to come up with tritheistic understandings, and were quickly beat down. So we're going to get into the theologian, Thomas Aquinas, as Aristotle is known as the philosopher next. God bless. Check out our other videos. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.